And I walked to the door, knocked on the door, and the door, he said, come in. I went in there, Hammer saw me, he said, hey, what's up, Benito? He said, give me a minute, I'll be out in a minute. Hammer came out, and he told me, I asked him, I said, Hammer, how you wind up working for somebody that used to work for you? I mean, Suge's the bodyguard for us. How you wind up being with him in death row? How that happen?
Yeah, we on Boss Talk 101. Yeah, we gonna talk.
When you think about MC Hammer and him basically, because we talked about all sides of Hammer, when Hammer started to go down, or when he left in the bankruptcy and all that, he ends up linking with Death Row, but he already had a relationship with Suge Knight.
Well, my thing was, when me and Hammer had a conversation one time, and I was in Hollywood doing my project, and just so happened the engineer said, Hammer's down the hall in Studio C. He was down with what's called Dog Pound, Daz Corrupt, and Jewel, God rest her soul in peace. And I walked to the door, knocked on the door, and the door, he said, come in. I went in there, Hammer saw me, he said, hey, what's up, Benito? He said, give me a minute, I'll be out in a minute. Hammer came out, and he told me, I asked him, I said, Hammer, how you wind up working for somebody that used to work for you? I mean, Suge's the bodyguard for us. How you wind up being with him in death row? How that happen? He's like, hey, I do what I had to do. I filed bankruptcy, and hey, it was opportunity. And I jumped on it to be a part of Snoop, Tupac, Dre, and everybody else. And Hammer wound up becoming the A&R for the West Coast. You would
see him on all the pictures when it come down to it with Tupac, when they would go out to places with Suge.
Tupac loved Hammer.
And so the reason you saying was because he was his A&R. He would talk and show them how to deal with like interviews, how to deal with different things when it came down to the business side of it. Suge, developing them as an artist.
What Death Row became, Suge always wanted that, but he needed guidance. Not only did Hammer show him a lot of stuff, Hammer's brother Louis Burrell showed him some things too. Cause like I tell you, one time Louis became manager of the year on the Forbes magazine 500, and that was mega for us back then. You know what I'm saying? Especially a black man, and he knew all the ins and outs, along with all the other stuff they did or whatever. But he showed them how to be a mega company, along with the other cats that Suge knew. Like I told you, he was over there with Solar Records, with so like I told you, Al Heyman and the rest of them and all those guys from Solar. So he knew he grew up on a good umbrella, learning the business of how to really go. But he was really inspired by Hammer a lot, Hammer taught him a lot with his company.
But you gotta understand though, Hammer was one that basically he had the game on lock when he was doing his thing. But when you look at Suge them, for him, when you talked to him that day, did he look like he felt like he didn't do, he failed, or did he look like I'm on this business venture and I'm gonna figure this out?
My thing was, when I asked him about it,
because you asked him that,
he was like, I filed bankruptcy, so all my assets are froze. So I gotta still take care of my family. They leave me enough. They leave you enough to make enough money, give you enough money, whatever it is, take care of your bills and your family, stuff like that. But he was steady paying out. Hammer had like 17 liens against him. If a lot of people don't know that, from the property. 17 liens, and for the marble floors and the house he built and all that kind of stuff. So not only that, he had to put all that stuff in the bankruptcy and pay all this stuff. He kept paying. That's the reason why he filed bankruptcy. Because he said, man, if I keep on paying all these people suing him right and left for all kind of crazy stuff. So he's like, if I keep on paying these lawsuits, I'm going to be broke. So he was forced to do it, which all them 3.5, 4 years we on the road touring, he made all that money. Money was messed up. I remember him talking one day with his brother Louis, and he's like, man, Capital talked about $9 million unaccounted for. Where'd that money go? Well, you bought race horses, you bought race cars, you invested in this, you invested in that, man, that money go fast, man. And I didn't know that money go that fast. I mean, millions, I thought $1 million stretch forever. But them the kind of money problems he had, man. But when he filed bankruptcy, Hammer still had $30 million.
Yeah.
He put his hands on. But they froze it. For how many ever years he was in bankruptcy. And he had to go underground with it. And
it's funny because, like I said, when you look at the demographics of when you look at LA and you look at the demographics and you look at the gangs and all that, and for MC Hammer to, bridge that gap and come over and start dealing with all those dudes in LA with a different mindset, because he didn't have a mindset of a gangbanger or nothing like that. He was more so of not only a church boy, a PK.
Positive rap.
He was more positive rap. For him to be in that group, it just seems kind of...
It didn't fit.
It didn't fit.
Yeah.
It don't fit.
Yeah.
But I do understand early on he had made a relationship where, so you say Suge was also his security.
Yeah, at one time he was. Yes, for us.
For you would see Suge. He would come.
He'd be around us. Yeah, he'd be around us.
But was he this gang guy? Was he wearing red all the time? Did he wear red? Was he wearing red all the time?
No. All this stuff you see in the movies and all this stuff you done heard about Suge or whatever, he ain't nothing like the dude. Wasn't nothing like that. Suge really a cool cat. It was the guys around him that surrounded him that made him like that. Because like when I share the stories, here's another one. Jewel, God rest her soul in peace. She was the best friends with my cousin's baby mama. And we stayed in Ladera Heights, 6771 Spring Parkway, right behind the Ladera Center, right there in the heart, right by the Fox Hill Mall, right there in the Black Beverly Hills, baby. She'd come over all the time. She would tell us stuff that Death Row was going on in Death Row inside the unit. And she would tell us some stories about Snoop and Daz and Corrupt and the twins and all them cats. We was like, what? Couldn't believe it. It was like, wow. But we knew Hammer was over there, and Hammer's doing the A&R thing. So, and like that time we got a chance to talk. I said, Ham, what you doing, man? He said, hey, I'm gonna take care of my family. That's what I'm doing right now. I said, I understand that. Now, DJ Eric B, they made him the A&R for the East Coast of Death Row.
Wow.
So Hammer was the A&R for West Coast. Eric B was the A&R for the East Coast. So they was collaborating, grabbing artists from all over the place and put it together, man. Suge had an arsenal. He had a lot of great artists, but he wasn't releasing them. You see what Daz Grubb did, went behind his back a little bit and got the record released through Priority. And Priority is actually a subsidiary company of Capitol.
Okay.
And when they released it, when that record came out, Suge wasn't happy because he wasn't ready for them to come out yet. Yeah. He was holding, he's concentrating on Drake and Snoop. So they actually did some little tricky stuff, but then they came out and blew up. Doghouse.
Dog Pound.
Dog Pound, yeah. Blew up. And it was over. And he's like, yeah, okay. So then he had a house full of producers. From Daz to Dre to DJ Quick to what's his name? Sam Snead, all them other cats, man. It was all just a collaboration of all them great producers. And that was it. If you got the producer and CEO of the company, you run everything else. Because they can bring everybody. Artists are a dime a dozen.
Yeah, we on Boss Talk 101. Yeah, we gon' talk.